Hi fairy friends, my name is Lavender the Herbal Fairy, and it is my absolute pleasure to introduce myself to you all finally. I have been doing a little bit of hiding. I am somebody who considers themselves as awkward, socially anxious, and just really shy and reserved. I like to be out in the forest, I like to be out in the garden, but when it comes to introducing myself to who I really am, I tend to get a bit shy. So this is my first step of many to putting myself out there, letting the world see who I am and how I feel on the inside. These are my herbal fairy wings, and this is my fairy wand because I love all things earth and I love things magic. So I might be giggling here and there every now and again just because I'm nervous, but I look forward to connecting with you and making more fairy friends. A little bit about me. I am a native fairy to Arkansas, and I love to travel. I love to fly. I love to see different locations. I love to visit different state parks, different urban gardens, different urban parks, different places that plants and people live and thrive, and sometimes they don't thrive, right? And so part of my life and part of being a fairy is to learn about the environment around me, to learn about the trees that exist in the world that we also exist in, to learn about the plants such as moss or plants such as dandelions, and really get to know them, build a relationship with the plant as well as with the land as well as with the people. Part of me traveling is to learn more about culture and history and food and medicine, plant medicine, because when we go outside, we are surrounded a lot of times, if we live in a city, by concrete and metal and buildings. But I am here to let you know that plants and trees and all the outdoor creatures that we sometimes have a little bit of fear of are also here, a part of the ecosystem, just like we are. So let me tell you, I'll just tell you about 10 things about me so I can get the nerves out of my system. This is me coming out of my shell and sharing with you how I see the world and how I experience it. So first thing about me, I already mentioned that I'm a shy person. So if you see me in person, don't be confused if I don't immediately go up to you. I get really anxious about those kinds of things. It takes me a minute to warm up. It's not you, I promise, it's me. I'm just very reserved until you know me. Second thing about me, I love to paint. I started painting in 2017. I was feeling like these bouts of sadness and anxiety, and something inside of me, spirit, whatever you want to call it, intuition, guided me to go to the Michael's art supply store. I got a canvas, I got some paints, and I went to YouTube and I started painting this weeping willow tree using like Q-tips for like the drooping leaves. And then I used the paintbrushes that I had bought, and another effort to put myself out there, I put it on Instagram, and people gave me really great positive reviews. And since then, I've been creating paintings that predominantly center Black women, people of color, freedom fighting stories, specifically from the South region of the United States, because to me it's really important to center Black women, queer people, folks who usually aren't centered in everyday life and reality. So that's the second thing about me. The third thing is I love to study plant medicine. I've been a student by way of my mother since I was a kid. She taught me so much. I had no idea what she was talking about when I was young, but now as I'm an adult, I realized how much information and golden nuggets of truth that she was sharing with me. So now as an adult, I formally have studied with other what we call them, master healers, master herbalists, one being the Sacred Vibes master herbalist Karen Rose, who's in New York. I've also studied with Wild Ginger, which is out in Maryland. So I've been studying formally since probably 2018, and I practice on myself, but I've also practiced sharing my remedies and sharing different tinctures or capsules. I'm a capsule and a tea girl. I share these different things with friends and family, as well as I am going to be sharing more with you all, because this is a part of who I am. What is it? I'm on number 4. Okay, 4th thing about me, I love to be outside. I don't care how hot it is. And I don't care how cold it is. You will find me at a nature park somewhere at any time of the season. I love to explore. I love to be outside, and I'm going to incorporate my hikes with you all on my YouTube channel. I usually go and do my own thing because I love my alone time, but I'm going to include you all on my hikes. For those who want to see them, just see different places that I've gone, see the different trees that I see, the different plants that I see, because it changes by the region, right? So I used to live in Arkansas. 5th thing, I used to live in Arkansas. I went up to Maryland, Baltimore, and I'm now in North Carolina. And so all these regions have a variety of different plants. They have a variety of different insects, birds, people, culture, language. And so I am going to share more of those things and more of that journey with you all. Okay, 6. I really enjoy, as much as I bottle up and get shy, I really enjoy getting people together. I love hosting gatherings that focus on nature, plants, connection, well-being, joy, playfulness. We had an event who I hosted with my friend Dina Patterson. You should follow her, DP True Serenity on Instagram. Hey girl, hey. But we hosted our very first fairy tea party May 2024, and it was so much fun. We had a fairy station where everybody could transform themselves with fairy wings and fairy ears. We all got dressed up and beautified, and we played. We had a bouncy house, we had music, we had food. It was a really, really good time, and that is going to be one of the annual events that I really want to focus my attention on, because with the changing times and all the political climate and the climate change and everything that's just going on in the world, we need those safe spaces to play and have fun and experience joy, especially as adults. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to do as much as we used to when we were kids, and so I really love to provide those spaces for adults to get out of their own way, have some fun, be a little silly, dress up, get a change of perspective, and see who else is interested in those things. So hi, I'll be your random black girl who puts on these types of events. You're welcome. It's gonna be enchanted and mystical and absolutely fun and magical. So 7th thing about me, I am in love, and I always have been, with the moon. Okay, so I'm a moon girl. I love to be outside. I love to look at the stars every night. I love to look at the moon cycles. I base my whole life and calendars on the cycles of the moon. I have them on my Google Calendar, which I didn't know you could add phases of the moon until this year, so I'm really excited about that. And so I've hosted moon gatherings in the past where we get together for the new moon and the full moon. We talk about intention setting, where we need accountability partners, where we would like to grow, what goals we'd like to achieve, and we just have a good time. We pull some cards, and we talk about what's going on in our lives. I hosted they were queer black moon circles for queer and black people, not queer black moon circles, but moon circles for queer and black people during the pandemic. And it was really just a nice space to gather, be around people who were experiencing similar things, and we could talk and we could be real. I really love authenticity, and I dedicate my art to it, because how often can you just show up and be yourself? I can't, I just want to show up like this. And I am. Here we are. Okay, I think I'm on 8. So spirituality is something, it's a word that I'm still getting used to. I grew up Christian in the Baptist church, and so I was dedicated to Jesus Christ and God as a baby. And although I hold Christianity near and dear to my heart, there was some tension there for me as I got older. I identify as a queer Black woman, and so a lot of the principles in the Bible didn't always align with the principles and values that I had of my life. So that sent me on a very deep exploratory journey of understanding different religious practices as well as spiritual practices. So I've studied literally, like, I go to the library. I love the library. It's like number 9. I love the library. It's one of my most favorite places to go. I almost go to the library in every city. Even if I'm just traveling, like for fun, I'll go to the library because I love the library. They got so many free resources. I've studied I've studied the tarot, I've studied oracle cards, I've studied astrology, and that's Western astrology as well as sidereal astrology, and now I've studied how plant medicine and the spiritual system align. I've studied how the astrology is connected to different parts of our body, and different signs rule different parts of our body and our different functions. What else have I studied? I've studied just like from spiritual teachers. I've listened to philosophers. I've done the whole like live in abundance and speak and manifest and things will come back to you, and I have opinions about that. And I've also studied magic. I studied a little bit about Wiccan, but that didn't feel right for me. And then I learned more about hoodoo, and I learned more about voodoo. And I'm not committed, I will say, to any of these practices. But out of all of these studying and all of this exploration, I have found things and tools and practices that work for me. But I am still very curious of going deeper. I think hoodoo is definitely a place where I feel connected, and it's a place that I would love to explore more. So I will be sharing my exploratory adventures into hoodoo with you all, as well as learning more about the tarot, learning more about oracle cards, and anything else that kind of catches my eye, or anything else that you all are curious about, because at the end of the day, I might be sitting on this side of the screen and you on that one, but we're in this together. And then I guess the 10th thing, wow, I did not expect me to be able to come up with that many. I thought I was going to struggle. But the 10th thing, let me think. I love to research and study heritage, and specifically I like to study the African diaspora, but more specifically, I love to study like Black people of the United States. I love to discover stories that have either tried to be erased or aren't mainstream, or were definitely not taught in school, or they're not passed down. We don't have like that strong as oral tradition as we used to. And so I love to uncover these stories at the library, and just talking to elders in the community. I mean, when's the last time you sat down and talked to your neighbor or talked to an elder who lived in your community? I mean, they have tons of stories. They live so much life, thankfully. And pick me. I will sit at somebody's feet and listen to the stories all day, because I think it's part of who we are. If we don't share the stories, if we don't continue that legacy, then we get disconnected from who we are, who we were. And that, my friends, is how that is how cultures and languages are just erased. So I went there, and I don't want that for us. I think Black people have such a rich history in the United States, a rich history in general. Even the diaspora, connecting all the way back to Africa, we have a very rich history that is not often spoken positively about. And I believe that we are more than just slavery. That was a huge piece of our history as Black Americans, but there's so much more. And I'm gonna find out, okay? Because I know I'm not the only Black fairy, you know what I'm saying? So that is a little bit about me. I'm super excited to share all of these things with you and more. And please stay tuned, because I'm going to be posting on YouTube more often. I'm going to be sharing more about what is life like as a fairy, what life is like as a performing artist. And I cannot wait to take this journey with you. It took me so long to get this video up, but here we are. And I'm so excited. It's going to be a really good fun time, and I hope that you all have a good fun time with me. So if any of those things interest you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.